and welcome to this very special broadcast live from Te Papaiouru Marae in Ohinemutu here in Rotorua, where tonight the last surviving member of the much venerated and world-renowned Tātere Māori Battalion, Sir Robert Nairn, Bomb Gillies, lies in state. Affectionately known as Bomb Gillies. He will be buried tomorrow. But tonight, Te Arawa, his Ngāti Kahungungu kith and kin, and of course Te Ao Māori celebrate the life of Tā Bomb Gillies with kapahaka, kōrero, and no doubt some katakata as well. And when the devastating news of his passing broke to the world, one constant presence has been with his whānau and here as well on the marae at Te Papaiouru as Tā Bomb lies in state in his ancestral whare, Tama Te Kapua. He's no stranger to the Hui program and he joins me now. His name is, of course, Dr. Tātere Jeremy MacLeod. E te takuta tēnā koe.
Tēnā koe, hoa.
Ko hia nei ngā rā iaia nei no te pakarutanga mai o te rongo ko hinga tō tātou toa mārohi rohi. Ko koe tērā no ho ana, e whakarongo ana, e kōrero ana. E huri pēhea no o whakaro iaia.
Ka nui te pauri o te ngākau. Engari, he māramatanga kei roto i te pauritanga. Kua noho, ko whakarongo i ngā kōrero, ko whakarongo i ngā mihi, ko whakarongo i ngā taki, ko whakatakutoria nei e tēnā iwi, e tēnā waka, e tēnā whakahaere. O reira ko te pātai nui, haha te āpōpō, te rua te kaumāwaru, ka ngaro nei te mōrehu whakamutunga.
Is that the call to action you're putting to people and have put to people over the last few days? What do we do now to continue the legacy, the tradition, to keep alive everything that we know about the Tātere Māori Battalion?
Well, I believe it's important that we use this as a catalyst while we're amongst this emotional euphoria and we are mourning the last veteran. But we really need to think about, in 2 generations' time, how do we want our mokopuna to be speaking about the Tātere Māori Battalion? Are they merely going to be photos on the wall that are slowly going to be taken down over time because no one remembers them? Or are they going to continue to be celebrated and memorialised and enshrined in our minds and memories for all eternity?
Nō reira, kia whakaro me pēhea te tuki ai?
Well, ka kōrake nei tātou mo te Māori. Ana, koe ra te tai kaupapa kua kōrongi e rungi te marae. Engari, a kene pēr ko te tai wahongo te Māori kei roto i a tātou katoa. E ora tunu ai te kaupapa me kōrero, me whakanui, me mōhio ngā tamariki, me whakairi o rātou whakāhua i o tātou kāinga, me mau atu a tātou tamariki ki ngā rāwhaka maumahara ki ngā hoia, ki ngā karakia i ngā atapō. Koe ra ngā mea ki au, e ora tonu ai te kaupapa.
One thing I've really appreciated is you, just by being here, are a constant reminder of his father's family, of his Ngāti Kahungungu whakapapa, and that beautiful portrait of his tupuna.
Very much so.
Hanging here on the whare Tama Te Kapua. And te arawa tēnā koe, by the way.
Yes, no, totally. Yes.
But people from home, Ngāti Kahungungu, big delegation came on Saturday. Was there a thought to try and tono, to ask for Tā Bomb to be returned back to his place of birth and indeed with his father's people?
Well, of course, we had a cultural obligation to come and tono. And I was the spy that was sent on the first night. The whānau called and said, can you come? So I thought I'd come and check things out, see what things look like, see if they could pull it off and if they'd look after him. And wow, they've certainly exceeded our expectations. But the hanging of the portrait of our ancestor on the veranda of Tama Te Kapua was poignant. And it certainly was very emotional for our people to see him there because he stood out. And for me, it was a nice compromise from Ngāti Whakaue, was that we didn't win our tono, but both sides won because both sides were uplifted by each other.
I just wanted to ask, i mui tō putanga ki tātawa kōrero i tēnei wā. E kaumātua i tino kimi i te ara ki te rangi Māori me te hohou i te rongo. Akati, hea te rātohu, tērā whakatawina tanga mai a te kaumātua rā i ana mahi ki a tātou i te rā nei. Ki o whakaro, hea hanga mahi me oti a tātou, e tino ea i a tātou ko ngā āwhero o te kaumātua nei a Tā Bomb i te wā o te ora.
E hara hoki i te me kai tangata i ngā wā katoa, e puta i tō riri, e whakatumatuma ai koe. Ara, kei ai e tērā tauira. Te whakatumatuma, te whakatakoto wero i roto i te mārire, me te rangi mare ngari kei reira tonu i tōna wero me tana ngau. Kia au nei, koe rapea te tai o ngā akoranga nui mai ki au, o tēnei pakeke.
And you knew Tā Bomb well. You went overseas.
Very much.
Actually, with Tā Bomb. What was he really like?
He was certainly a humble person. He was humorous, he was jovial, he had a wicked sense of humour, he was as sharp as a tack, he was a repository of history on all sorts of things, but he was also someone that showed how you could maintain your connections to both tribes. Despite Rotorua and Waimarama being so far apart, he made sure that his fire was bright and glowing on both sides by going home to Waimarama and naming his mokopuna people there. And we knew who he was. He wasn't just one of these distant uncles that moved to Te Arawa. So to me, he showed you can do it. You can have more than one ahika, but it requires a bit of work.
It'll be an emotional day tomorrow for many people, for you as well. And it's on those occasions that I think sometimes it's hard to put into words how you feel about these kinds of things, particularly when you lose someone who is beloved by Māoridom. But for you tomorrow, what will go through your mind? What will remain in your mind?
Reminds me of the day we buried our king. It was an incredibly emotional and somber day. It was surreal. It was a surreal feeling. And tomorrow is the same. We've sort of been so caught up in maintaining the cultural obligations on the marae, you don't really take a time to realise the gravity of this. But it will be a sad day as we bury him, because he is that window to all of our grandfathers. Some of us didn't meet our grandfathers, some of us are third, fourth generation. They're just names. But the Māori Battalion is now a legend. Wa pūrākau te kaupapa. And it has now become a legend. And I think that to me is something that I will shed a tear or two tomorrow.
E te tākuta tēnā koe i o mai, tēnā koe i ēnei kōrero, tēnā hoki koe i ngā mahi i hapai te e koe. Harai te mea, mo te kaumātua nei te take, mo te whānau anahe, engari mo tō iwi Māori. E te tākuta tēnā koe.
Tēnā koe, e mihi nei ki a te aroa, i manaki mai nei a kahungungu. Kia ora tātou katoa.
Kia ora mai rā katoa. That was, of course, Dr. Tātere Jeremy MacLeod.